Hey Yugi Tubers, this is Red Faction Yu-Gi-Oh! Bringing you guys a profile slash help video slash whatever the heck this is for what's eventually going to be one of my new decks. As you guys can tell, my singular guy audience, this is my boxer deck. It's still in the works, so if you're going to bash it, just save that for later. I'm trying to get this thing to work. Whoops. Unplugged my computer charger. Sorry, guys. Trying to get this to work by Saturday so I can take it to locals, but not entirely for sure how well that's going to work out. I have to still hunt some cards down for it and somehow get them here by Saturday, being that it's already Tuesday. But, anyways, we'll just go through 3 Glassjaw, 3 Headgeared, 2 Spar, 3 Switch Hitter. Those are basically your 4 core boxers for the deck. Glassjaw being your biggest beater, and when he's sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can recycle 1 boxer in your graveyard and add it to your hand. The most optimal being really, I guess, any of them, depending on situation. The most optimal is probably going to be Switch Hitter, because Switch Hitter can pull one of the other boxers back, and you can make your lead yokes, which is basically your go-to Xyz monster. Though, depending on situation, you might go into 105, but it all just depends, because the turn Switch Hitter summons something, the only thing you can Xyz summon is, or special summon anyways, is Battle and Boxers. So, unless they start making more rank 4 ones, you're stuck with 3 lead yokes and any number of 105s. So, it just depends. Headgeared is the deck thinner, because he sends one to the graveyard. This has multiple uses. You can send Headgeared and not Headgeared. He's like I said, deck thinner. You can send Glassjaw to the graveyard, and that activates his effect to recycle 1. Or you can send Counterpunch if running Counterpunch is what you want to do. That sets it up so as soon as your Headgeared or your other monster or whatever attacks, you've automatically got Counterpunch to go in and hit somebody with. Spar is like Boar the Spear. You can special summon him, but he stops your battle phase for the rest of the turn, so you gotta watch where you summon him off of that. And Switch Hitter, like I said, he's basically just like he's like Blizzard the Far North, except level 4 with 1500 attack, and he's way better. But anyways, 2 Veiler, 1 because it's a tuner and you run 2 level 5 synchros. The other, and it's probably its more main use, is just being discard and negate stuff. He just stops stuff from going off. 2 Fire Dogs. This has just 2 uses. One is to be a 1900 beater. The second one is it's a little bit of deck thinner if you get it. If you didn't get that Headgeared to set up Glassjaw, you can use Fire Dog to pull out Glassjaw from the deck. And being that Glassjaw is the only one with 0 attack points, he's the only target. Or 0 defense points, my bad. So, Fire Dog is just in there as deck thinner. I'm going to test it out over the next couple days, see how well it works. 2 Tour Guide from the Underworlds. Tour Guide is in here for basically your go-to rank 3 stuff. That being Cheat Commissioner and Zen Mines. My build, I'm testing out Mech-Whipped Engineer and maybe number 49 Fortune Tune just to see how things work out. But it's basically, A, it summons your rank 3, B, it's just another deck thinner because it pulls the other Tour Guide out of the deck. So, that's basically all that it's in there for. 1 Battle and Box and Spirits, same thing, it's half deck thinner, half Monster Reborn, because it'll send the top card of your deck to the graveyard and then special summon a Battle and Boxer in defense position. So, that sets up plays for 105 or any other Xyz monster. It takes 3 level 4s. Just depends on what you're doing. Dark Hole, self-explanatory. Foolish Burial sets up the graveyard. That's another thing that'll set the Glassjaw play off. Or it'll ditch out Tour Guide if it gets Veilered. It'll dump out the Fire Dogs, just depending on what you need to get out of the deck. 1 Forbidden Dress. Was originally going to run 3 Lances, but I had it on Duelists of the Round Table. That's Cyber Knight's Facebook group. If you guys aren't a member of that, check it out. There's some awesome people in there. It's basically in there to just keep stuff safe. And I thought, and bad Yu-Gi-Oh's here, I thought it did the same thing as Forbidden Lance, but it doesn't. So, know that now. It's just recommended that Lance is better because Lead Yoke will get up to 3,800 on its own just from protecting itself. So Lance will make it drop down to 3,000 until that end phase, but it will stay safe from spelling traps. So like, it can't be deprisoned, it can't be mirror forced, it can't be, you know, whatever they try to do to it. 2 MSTs. The third one will be in the side, and I'll probably have a separate video for the side deck because this is basically the profile / help video. Side deck video, I'll go into a little bit of what we expect at our locals and kind of kind of ask for some help for what I want to side for or against, however you want to word that. 2 MST, self-explanatory. 2 Pot of Duality. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I mean, the deck is a little more spell and trap heavy than everything else, so double pot might be good, but at the same time might be bad. Just depends on the situation. Because even if I do get this and I get my tour guide or whatever, I can't summon anything or special summon anything that turn. So no Zen Mines, no second tour guide, no Lead Yoke. Depends on what happens. Barian's Force, yes, because I run C105 because I am that boss. You know, no one else runs it. I mean, I don't know what other people have against the Chaos forms, so we'll test it and see how it works. Rhoda, self-explanatory. Returning Alive, self-explanatory. We go on to the traps. Bottomless, Compulse, Double D Prison, your usual staple spell and trap lineup. Double Fiendish. I'm half tempted to run Breakthrough Skill in place of this. One reason being I don't have a second Breakthrough Skill, so I can't run it. Really, I don't have any. My teammate has the one Breakthrough Skill. So I got to get a couple there, so it's Fiendishes for now. 2 Magic Cylinder. I would absolutely love to have Safe Zone in place of this thing, but I'm too poor to afford Safe Zone at like $20-some a piece, so I gotta wait for the reprint in January. But I figure if they're gonna try to attack you, you may as well have some back row, because chances are a lot of their resources are gonna go to getting Lead Yoke out of the way. So if they do finally get him out of the way, then Magic Cylinder can just blast whatever they try to hit you with back at them. So see how it works. It might get replaced with something else later on. Double Mirror Force, Solemn Warning, Torrential Tribute, same as always. And Xyz Reborn. I figured it'd be a good idea. I mean, you're going to be Xyz summoning out the hind end in this. Probably the optimal play is Xyz Reborn 105 and then equip it. And then 105's effect can kick in and he basically keeps himself safe and shifts all the battle damage. So, I don't know. You'd kind of be the judge of that one. Extra deck, Catastor and Armades are your 2 level 5 synchros. Catastor just to get around problem stuff, and Armades to keep your back row, or keep them from using their back row on you, so you at least get 1 attack off. 1 Cheat Commissioner. I'm not for sure how it's going to work. I'm just going to test it out because it's a boxer. You know, you just got to test it. 3 Lead Yokes. Like I said, Lead Yoke is kind of your workhorse of the deck. I mean, stop a boxer's destruction twice, and he gains 800 each time. So he can protect Headgeared or something from getting destroyed if they stop it from going off. And he can basically power himself up to 3,800 just by protecting Headgeared past its regular protection effect. So, it just depends. 1 Blade Armor Ninja. That'll be pretty good, depending on situation. I think it'll work well because I've used Blade Armor before and I've literally killed people with it because in the first 2 turns that it's out, they literally got nothing. So it's 4,400 per attack, just attack 2 turns in a row and they're basically dead with 8,800 points of damage. 1 Cowboy. This is probably going to be my optimal one if I have to Fire Dog out Glassjaw. So I can just immediately go into this and either bump him up to 2,500 or put him in defense and just do 800 points of damage. Just depends. Maestroke, this is the other one because it makes a 2,300 point defense wall, which is even better than Zen Mines-ish. And, he doesn't keep himself safe, but he can put something face down. Like if something your opponent has stronger attack than defense, you can just put it face down and kill it that way. Mech-Whipped Engineer, like I said, I'm going to test it. It's just, it's in here both to keep things on the field longer and to keep it, What's the word I want? Just to keep it around. If I do run Fortune Tune, well, if I run Fortune Tune, I won't need this. But either way, this thing will be probably out to protect Lead Yoke or something once his units are all used up. 105, like I said, it's a really good card. It just doesn't get as much play because it takes 3 level 4s. I mean, really, it's like Shark Drake. I mean, their effects are good. It's just they're a cost in themselves to summon, so no one wants to use them. But he shifts all battle damage from a boxer monster back to your opponent. The boxer you're protecting, be it him, be it Lead Yoke, be it whoever, they can't be destroyed by battle, and whatever monster they're battling, its effect is negated. So, you know, the thing's really nice. It just doesn't get enough playtime because of its summoning requirement. Utopia, because it's Utopia. C105, I like this. If it fights something, they're going to take half of its attack points as damage, and if I blow it up, they're going to take full damage, and that's equal to it on the field, not half of its original attack like its regular effect. So, C105 ought to be pretty good. Not to mention with Barian's Force, you can steal one of their overlay units. One Pappy Operative. This, actually, now that I think about it, might be the Firedog Glassjaw combination just to get something out of the way. Just all depends on where things go. And one Wind-Up Zen Mines. Zen Mines is probably going to be the go-to one for the tour guides. A few cards, I'm asking you guys' recommendation on these because I have absolutely no idea what I should do with it. Should I not be able to track down tour guides? I was thinking about running the Counterpunches in this because Counterpunch, whether you like him or not, Counterpunch is a really good trap. He's a hand trap and a graveyard trap at the same time. Just depends on where he's at. You can only use one, but that's a 3,000 point Glassjaw. That's a 2,000 point headgeared, 2,500 switch hitter, 2,200 spar. Just depends on the situation there. But you can dump it out within the deck. Not to mention it helps you keep monsters on the field. Card D, maybe not. I don't know. Infected Male. I'm absolutely surprised no one came up with this. My optimal play is to use Firedog to summon out Glassjaw, then have Glassjaw attack directly with Infected Male's effect, and once that's done, at the end of that battle phase, Glassjaw gets sent to the graveyard, and since he was sent by a card effect, that kicks his effect off and he can add something. So not only do you get to recycle a boxer, but your opponent takes 2,000 life points direct damage. So it works out pretty well. I'm honestly surprised no one thought of it. Shard of Greed, if I was going to run this, I would use it to take the place of Dualities. Because with only 3 MSTs, I mean, this is kind of an MST target, kind of not an MST target, just depends. I mean, if your opponent doesn't, if you're thinning your deck out continuously with Firedog and Glassjaw and Headgeared and whatever, and your opponent doesn't want you doing that, then Shard of Greed would be a good MST target. If not, then you draw 2 cards when it gets counters on it. Breakthrough skill, like I said, I really want to run this in place of Fiendish Chain, but I don't have the breakthrough skills. But I think it would work better because boxers are a little slow to get going from what I've seen of them. But once they get a Lead Yoke or 2 out on the field, it becomes really hard to knock them off the field, at least while they've got units, and even then it's still hard. So a breakthrough in this would prevent your opponent from getting going with saying, if they're playing Harpies or something, go Harpy Channeler into Harpy's Pet Dragon and then whatever into Tempest for Dracosac. They summon their channel or whatever, you just break their skill it right there and they can't go into the rest of it. So it works pretty well. I think it'll work. My only other one is Spiritual Fire Art Kurenai. I just thought of it off the top of my head. If I don't have a target for Firedog, I can let it attack and do whatever. And this would work best if... Well, actually, another play would be if I do run the Infected Male, let Firedog attack directly, or Glassjaw, either way. Then once they've done their direct damage, use this to tribute Firedog or Glassjaw, and they take another 2,000 or 1,900 points of damage, depending on what they are. So that's pretty much it. You know, I could use you guys' opinions on this, recommendations. Bear in mind that I don't have a whole bunch of money to spend on this, so I'm trying to keep this as budget as possible. So, you know, I'm running up my video time here, just kind of rambling. Thanks for watching. This is Red Faction Yu-Gi-Oh! Team Duelist Republic. Catch you all later, guys. Peace.